This starts now. 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us?
Putting a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
What's up?
How's it going?
We're here.
Oh my goodness.
You okay?
Yeah.
You okay?
Good?
Woo!
Need medical attention?
We're doing okay right now.
Hi.
I have it in this.
I don't have any medical attention or knowledge or nothing, but I know somebody out there might, so I was just trying to help.
We're doing good. We're doing good. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, travelers and ghost riders, welcome to Paranormal Outlaws, where anything goes and we talk about anything. We allow opinions, insights, and we have some special co-hosts with us tonight. Sitting with me tonight is the director of Vibe Network and his own show, Freaking Awesome Paranormal Show, Ryan Jones. Hey guys. And
Hi, what's up?
left, we have Robert Odell in the house. Hi, Keith.
Hi, everybody. I got to say hi, Keith.
There you go. And then our very special guest as well, joining us for the first time as well, Michelle Dyer.
Nice.
What's up, Shell?
My sister.
Hello.
So we have a full house tonight, you guys. We're
Yes.
riding
We
heavy.
do.
Riding heavy.
I'm ready.
We say hi to everybody. I cannot see the chat tonight.
Lisa Campbell's in the house. She said, hey there.
Lisa, what's up? I also want to say hello to everybody tuning in YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, to all of our locations. And tonight, we want to say hello to our listeners on Spotify.
Nice.
Ooh.
Hello, Spotify.
Yeah,
There, man.
we're rolling it. We're rolling it.
Awesome.
So it's really nice to have my boys rolling with me here and rolling with my crew.
Good to have you.
Our crew, not my crew, our crew. Thank you.
Honored to be here.
Thank you.
Now, I just got to throw out a shameless plug here,
Please do.
real quick. I have been on the Freaking Awesome Show, and it is truly a freaking awesome show. Just got to say it.
Thank you, sir.
And I
I
have
think
one
I was with
that I've
you.
looked at.
Yeah, everybody, you get a chance, tune into Vibe. Check out Freaking Awesome with Ryan, and even Rhonda's there once in a while.
Yeah,
she
she
does
helps me
dual
out.
duty. Yeah.
Yep.
So, we get a chance, and Ken runs with me a lot on the show.
I'm Howie Allen Quartermain. Howie
So unusual to hear that now.
Quartermain.
Is that your stomach?
Yeah, dude.
Holy shit, we're doomed. We're gonna die over here.
That's what happens when you do bad stuff the night before the show.
Can y'all hear us okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
All right,
It's
cool.
not during investigation.
Right.
That's worse when the assembly starts going off during investigation.
Debunking.
You gotta go, that was me. That was me.
Yeah.
It was me every 5 seconds.
You're on an investigation, you got to fart. Make sure you note it. Just
Yes.
saying.
That was me.
Women and men.
I always have gremlins.
Good. I speak from experience.
Rear demons, rear gremlins.
That's
Renee.
Sulfur. Must be a demon. We're just,
It's always a demon. Come on. It's a stomach, the stomach demon.
Yeah,
Stomach
exactly.
demon. Yeah. So tonight, Ghost Riders, we are going to talk about first debunking. Homeowners, how can we help other people understand what may not be paranormal? Oh my God.
Make you fart.
Yeah, rip apart. The other thing in the second half, really going to focus on Michelle and Renee and Keith on the second half on how to protect your home. You know, if you feel like you need to get in there, when should you do it? How should you do it? Are you building a new home? How should you do it? Are you in a present home that was already built? What should you do to protect your property spiritually? So it's gonna be-
Vacuum.
What's that, Keith?
Vacuum. The
Vacuum.
100% best way to prevent orbs. Just
There
saying.
we go. Yes.
Yeah, let's jump right
Dustin
into it.
once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, vacuum and dust. I mean, that is a thing.
And the reason why is first let's look at the whole fireplaces. Let's look at HVACs, you guys. You homeowners that think you may have paranormal and you're going around and you're getting into the paranormal, so you are a ghost hunter and you think you're capturing something. Sometimes that orb is not what it is.
Correct. Sometimes it may be, but sometimes it's not. I did something the other day. I've talked about it. I did it myself the other day. In the sunlight, shining through the window, I took a box of Kleenexes and I pulled one out and I watched. The dust that comes off of that Kleenex is amazing. That settles in your house. You walk through the house, it gets stirred up. The heater kicks in. You haven't ever cleaned your ducts. Your cold air returns. That's what caused my fire. That all gets stirred up and it gets circulated. And in older homes, it gets recirculated and resettled in the walls. And it's a never-ending job.
Yeah.
And you know, you're sitting there with your infrared and you get all these things floating by. 99% of it's dust. However, if you get something that is giving off its own light, not reflecting the IR, and it has a very specific pattern, if you feel energy from it, then give it some credence. But if it's just random stuff floating through the air, you go out in the middle of a field, a dry field, you're walking through, you take 20 pictures and they're all filled with hundreds and hundreds of orbs. Guess what? That's not orbs, that's dust. Just gonna say it. You cannot like my opinion if you want. I don't care. That's my opinion.
That's how we roll.
It's you don't usually get hundreds of orbs at the same time. So you get 100 orbs at the same time, it's probably dust.
Right.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to back Keith up on this. And, you know, think about your toilet paper. It's doing the same thing as tissues. Think about your paper towels doing the same thing. Your linens.
Yeah.
Same.
Your dog running in and out.
Exactly. I mean, yourself. We have human dander, folks. Sorry. It's true. This is how we are.
I vacuumed last week. I
Don't forget
vacuumed
about
today.
our
4 vacuum cleaner canisters full of dust, dirt, and dog hair.
Yeah. You know, Renee just brought up a good point. What about the makeup?
Yes.
Blushes when
Powders.
you're applying it?
It's
Baby
all of
powder.
it is. I mean, I know I don't wear very much of it, but when I do wear it, I do bang out the brush. I mean, the fallout from the cosmetic into the air goes everywhere.
Yeah.
Cooking. Making
Good.
bread, flour.
I mean, not only that,
Pepper.
there was one place that me and the hubby used to go and investigate all the time, which was Green Lady Cemetery. Walking down an old dirt road.
Yeah.
Not only that, walking through a cemetery, you got pollen. You're going to stir up a lot of stuff.
We encountered that at Enon Church. So yeah.
Oh yeah, you walk down the street, people take pictures of like roads. There's all these orbs everywhere, and like there's hundreds of ghosts out
Yeah,
here.
look at this. Look what we got. And
Yeah,
we have to go, you ain't got anything. You know? And this is the other thing. I want to put this out there for all of us that are on right now. If you come to us and ask us for our opinion, expect an honest opinion.
We'll give it.
Don't come to us and say, well, you could be wrong. We could be wrong, but if you're asking our opinion, we're going to be straightforward with you. We're not going to bullcrap you.
Yeah, we want to help people learn.
Yeah.
We're not going to shame. We won't shame you. but we will attempt to help you learn. There's so many people out there in the paranormal community that do nothing but shame other people. You know, they'll throw the picture of orbs up, and people just dog on them right and left. Learn what to do, and blah blah blah. Help educate them. Help
Yeah.
educate.
Yeah.
Don't dog somebody because you weren't there. How do you know? But give an honest opinion based on experience. That's what I would say. Good point, you guys. Good point. Based on experience, expect an honest opinion from us. Any of us that are on this panel and anybody with experience, be prepared for it. Don't try to shoot it down, and don't be an ass about it.
That.
Yeah.
A lot of people have black mold in their homes, and some people are highly allergic to that stuff.
Yeah, we're going to talk about
And it doesn't just go in your bathroom. That stuff will start creeping into your house from the crawl space, getting your heating ducts, and it will create havoc in your home. It'll make you deathly ill, give you chronic headaches. There's a numerous number of things that can happen with black mold. So I know this from a slight experience because I had a fire in my home, and our parents' house caught on fire, and that was one of the things that they had to do. Was the cleaning crew had to make sure that there was no black mold in that house, and they sprayed the house, both mom and dad's home and my home, with this stuff called Kills to cover the smell.
Yeah, but it wasn't just kills. I mean, this was a specific kills. This was aimed at mold. Just make sure it's a film.
Usually it's like a bleach based product too that they
Yeah, I had to clean the basement out because after the fire, I couldn't get in here for 2 weeks. There's water sitting everywhere. Jars of canned goods had fallen on and rotted, and it was terrible. It was.
Yeah, and now we don't want people to get confused. Kills originally started as this product. We're not talking about the primers, you guys. Before you go, oh, that's a paint. No, it's not. The company actually started as a mold killing company. So there's a little history for you.
There you go.
Yep.
And don't just take our word for this stuff. Go search and do the research, like we investigators do. I'm just saying for the public, and
I think I'm making this poor man dust.
Yeah, Jesus.
I'm good.
I haven't done anything. I'm cool.
I mean, knowledge is power. The more knowledge you have, the more that you have to learn from, and more to give to help others. Which that's what we're here for, isn't it?
That's exactly.
A lot of us have seemed to forgotten that we're here to help.
Yes.
Michelle, what do you think? What do you think are some things that people should really look at when they're, in the presets of thinking their home maybe have hauntings or activities and they're miscued for it?
Usually I just had a case close to home, and I say case, but it's really not. But I recently lost a friend, and they had called me over and said, hey, we'd like to try to communicate. We think she's still here. And there's a lot of factors that go into it. Just because you have the equipment doesn't necessarily mean, if you're not in tune with it, you don't know what it's doing. They had, what do you call that thing, Keith, that we have that maps out the people?
SLS camera.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they installed one on their phone, and it maps out small objects all the time. And so, you just, like y'all said, it takes a lot of the education to say, well, but then too, that I don't really discredit or discount a whole lot of folks, because things happen around me all the time. Holidays, anniversaries, birthdays. Things can crop up. Our loved ones can always reach out. But yeah, a lot of it. I'll look at the stuff, and then I always tell them, go back and verify your information. So if you're at a location, take those pictures, take your audio, take all of it to the person that runs the place and knows the place, and get verification on what it is that you've caught, seen, or felt, or heard.
Good idea.
That's a good point. Verification.
Mm-hmm.
I missed one thing when I was talking about that. Here's something that I know about experience-wise too. natural gas leaking, a slow leak in a home will cause hallucinations and not being able to breathe properly. I know the city, the area that we get our gas from, they're pretty proactive on checking for leaks, and they'll come out there with a piece of tech tool called a sniffer, and they'll sniff for the gas. They'll check for anything. I just wanted to mention that. I'm sorry.
No, don't
No,
be
No, you're good.
good. That's excellent. Radon gas too.
And
I
that's
think
what I
it
was
goes
just
to
gonna say.
RNN.
I was just gonna say radon's a thing too.
Yeah.
Radon is
Now-
a thing too.
Couple that with high EMF.
Mhm.
Another thing that I think that all investigators should have with them or in their kit is a carbon monoxide detector.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't even think about this, but
Mhm.
you can get a carbon monoxide detector. And we had it in the first go round, and unfortunately lost, and but that's coming back into our fold. Is if you take and put a carbon monoxide detector on a 2-foot holder, we'll go that way, and that way it's mobile, and you can set it in corners, whatever, and you can set it. Usually, most of the time, if not all the time, carbon monoxide starts from the ground up.
Yes.
So, this way is for investigators and homeowners. If it's gotten to the point, most homeowners, and I don't know if you guys would agree with me or not,
Yeah.
but what I've seen in homes, most of the time the carbon monoxide is already at a level that's going to kill you when they set it.
Yeah, in the welding industry, we have to be careful because if we're using the guys are welding, nitrogen and helium are a low-lying gas, and we have to be really careful with that in the welding industry.
Yeah, think about that in
So,
shops.
Yeah, and that
Shops
can
and
happen in a home.
businesses. Holy crap, I didn't even think about that, you guys. Businesses that have activity.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not that. Heath, you're a perfect example. Let's talk about that. Weren't you just talking about this last 2 weeks?
I was. You mean with my work?
Yeah.
Yeah. I work in a factory called Akuma. We make battery cases, plastic battery cases. We have gigantic, huge plastic injection molds. The presses, they're 480 volt heaters on dead shorts. And there are 32 of these machines in there. And you can feel the EMF pulling in the parking lot. Throughout the work week, my legs start to go numb from Monday, and it gets worse to Friday. I come home, gets better Friday night, Saturday a little better, Sunday I'm good. Then the process starts over on Monday.
Yeah.
The other day we had a quote 45-minute blackout because we're building a new building and they had to hook the power up to the new building. So we had no power whatsoever in that facility. It was so peaceful. However, all of a sudden I heard something say, "Come here." So I walked over. I could see it. This time I got my camera out. I caught it. I sent it to you guys so you could see it. There was an entity kind of dancing. I could see it. I caught it on video walking over to me. It kind of did a little jig and then jumped up on my finger. They were everywhere. And what they were trying to get across to me is even that much EMF is too much for them. It overstimulates them to the point where it almost, quote, hurts them. And when they power that down for holidays and whatnot, these things go nuts. They're letting off that excess. And yeah, they do feed off of EMF, but they can get overstimulated as well.
Overstimulated.
Angry spirit being overstimulated from too much EMF.
It's like a human on tequila.
Yeah.
That's a nightmare. On a full
Tequila,
moon.
it's not going to make you happy.
No.
No.
Well, like at my work, they've and Keith and I have talked about this at length, and they're doing it at a lot of companies that you have the the little call centers and everything. They're putting actual brown noise machines in our office.
I've heard about this stuff.
Yeah.
I
What the
cannot
hell?
tolerate it. Yeah, it's horrible. If you are in any way, shape, or form with abilities, it will drive you insane.
Yes. They say white noise. You can use white noise to catch things. There's
Yeah.
brown noise. There is also black noise,
There is
which
black noise.
what they supposedly put out on the test signal on 4th.
Mm,
28 minutes.
right. You know, another thing I'm going to bring up too, since we're in this subject, is if you're home. Oh, did we lose Shell?
Yep. She'll pop back on.
All right. There she is. Does she know how to get on?
I got her.
Okay, cool. If your home is near main power lines or cell towers, this again is the same thing we were just talking about. Okay, you have high EMFs coming from that, either power or from those towers. What is that doing to that location? It's amplifying. I mean, like you said, Keith, it's bringing juice.
Yes.
So
Yes.
here,
If there's any anomalies in the ground, in the earth, in that area, that can amplify that as well.
yeah. So I wanted to bring something too, because y'all talked about radon. You talked about mold, and something we just touched base on is EMF. Okay, if your home is an older home and it may not be up to code, you may have high EMF in your home.
Yes.
Now, if that's the case, it can get very interesting. And I'm going to tell you a little, Ryan and I will talk about it, an experience where it was, okay, here we are, have a bad situation that could make something else not so good. We did a location 10 years ago. Let's go with 10. 10 years ago in Powhatan, where it had a mirror that was 4 by 10.
Yeah, it was pretty big.
Yeah, 4 by 10 mirror in the main foyer. Okay. Now, we checked this mirror using K2s and EMF readers, right? And it was putting off really, really high EMFs. We're like, holy crap, that's kind of scary from a mirror.
Yeah.
But then remember what happened we found?
No,
It was right behind on the other side was the refrigerator and power.
Yes.
So you want to talk about a portal?
Yeah.
Yes. Knob and tube wiring. If you don't know what that is, you got one single wire going up, on this wall. It's wrapped around a porcelain insulator, and you got another wire over here, again wrapped around the porcelain insulators going up. That's your hot and your neutral.
Yeah.
You have a very large EMF radius off of those wires. Today's wiring, those wires are in insulation right next to each other. That cancels that opposite flow out. So you have a lot smaller EMF radius.
Right, called K12.
You've got old knob and tube wiring in your home. Yeah. So what was in here where you couldn't see? That's what I had. I ain't got that no more.
And see, these are valid points.
That was old wiring back then.
That was all wiring in the plantation home. Now, all of these give off very similar situations. They give you hallucinations. They can make you sick. They can give you sinus issues. They can give you paranoia. It can actually cause health issues.
Yes.
So, we want to talk about that. These are serious issues that could really come to play. We've all experienced it. And even our first investigation on the house of Nelson, I actually saw a purple orb above his head on the first investigation we ever did. And I'm going, holy crap. But can I say it was that now? Because we know the wiring was not updated. It had bad electrical issues going through the home, open wires. So now I've got a question. Was that a real orb or was that an energy spike now?
Very possible.
Yeah.
Like ball lightning, it's a natural phenomenon.
Exactly.
And what feeds energies? EMF.
Yeah.
And some of the power facilities, and I'm not mentioning what power facilities are, but there have been workers in the power facility that actually seen balls of electricity go from one coil all the way across the substation to another coil.
Yeah.
And you have to be very careful about where you're planting your feet in these facilities. And they tell you, you need to stay by your truck. Do not go out of your truck. This is a live facility.
Yeah.
They put you in a designated area because they have said that this happens quite often, and they try to keep it under control as much as possible. Where you're talking about a lot of power.
Oh, that's frightening. That's
You walk into
higher intensity of a static ball.
when you walk into the facility, your hair stands up on end because of the static electricity.
I take offense to that.
Hey, hold on a minute.
We're good. Sorry, Ron. I mean, but think about it. These are valid points. It's why we're doing this. And Keith brought up at the very beginning HVAC. What happens to HVAC when it cools and warms? It makes popping noises. It expands. It contracts. They're going to make these unusual noises. Same thing if you are at a farmhouse or a home that's not well taken care of by a pesticide. Rats and mice.
Squirrels
and stuff. Yeah.
Squirrels. Yes. Yeah. What are you saying?
The scratching noises and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, ever since I moved in here, I always felt like there was a dead body in here. Literally, me and Michelle have talked about it. When I tore the house down, I found it. It was a mummified squirrel.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. See?
The other thing to be super aware of is chemicals. How many household chemicals in a garage do you happen to be sitting by?
Yes.
Hey, Tammy, welcome to the show. Hey. Yeah, exactly. Chemicals. Mm-hmm. Holy crap. That's another thing. These are all things that can affect a normal homeowner that they may perceive because of television shows. I'm not mentioning any. Because of radio shows. Not mentioning any. Because of social media. Don't expect your house just to be haunted because you have this going on. Have someone come and take a look at it. I mean, the best, in my experience.
Can I add to that? A professional. Have a professional.
Yes.
How dare you use the P word?
Come out and look at it. Not your brother-in-law Joe, who's electrician,
hey, leave the
HVAC, HVAC guy, or brother-in-law who, he worked for a chemical company or whatever. Have professional come out. That's the best thing.
Well, I mean, that's one of the good positive things about anybody that's in the professional. I shouldn't have said it like that. Anybody that's in the paranormal, their experience in house structure, house building, anything that has to do with homeownering, right. That's a very wise choice for anybody that gets into the paranormal, know about house structures. You really should.
And I hate to say this, but it's going to hurt because it hurts me to even say it. Yes, it's going to cost you a couple of dollars to have somebody come out.
Yeah, dollar.
Sorry.
Free these days.
Another thing people don't think of when you got rattling in your walls. When you turn your water on, some people's pipes rattle because they busted loose from the brackets. Okay. Now that can also happen even with your water heater kicking on, heating the water, the temperature changes in that pipe, it expands, it contracts, that can make it rattle with no water running. Vibration, slowly turn a faucet on if it's not tight enough. I mean, you need to debunk every possible thing. Door slamming shut. Okay, when the HVAC kicks on, does it create a draft on an unweighted door? I mean, you got to check everything.
Yeah.
On a windy day, you open a back door and it sucks a bedroom door shut. I mean,
So you investigate everything, and what's left, Renee?
Then you have something after you've proven everything.
I got one more thing. One more thing that nobody ever talks about that you and I lived at. I was born at home, so everybody knows. Our house was built on top of the Glen Ellen coal mines. Now, this is why I'm bringing this up.
And it's on a fault line.
And on a fault line. If your home is built on certain elements, or if it's built on top of coal mine holes or quarries, things will happen. It will cause vibration, shaking, dropping, noises to come from nowhere
Yes.
that make you seem that it's a haunted location. No, it's just because of what your home is actually built on top of. Be aware of your complete surroundings, even what your home is built on top of. Echoes, vibrations, frequency all play into that.
Study
Yeah.
your property.
Study, know it before you call somebody, because some people like to have the paranormal groups come out. There are paro junkies.
I mean,
You know
there-
this. Yeah.
it's a simple little phone call or a simple little walk down town hall, city hall, go down to your tax property, pull the records on the house. They've got everything documented. Plot maps, everything's there.
Yeah.
Little research goes a long way.
You know something else that I've been thinking about, and I'm going to throw this out to the panel tonight because we literally have a panel, and I like this. This is really cool. What is the possibility? And I'm going to throw this to everybody. I want everybody to think about this. What is the possibility if you're in a location that has high MF to actually have a projection of individual self in that location? I know I just effed up everybody's minds.
Like you see yourself?
Yeah, you see, someone sees an image of you in that location in a different part of that location.
Are you thinking like a specific location, like we were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
I mean,
Keith, what happened to us when we went down to our hunt in Missouri with our old teammate?
We saw our teammate follow us up the stairs when our teammate was actually in the office.
Yeah.
Go on.
We were at a antique shop and we were doing an investigation, and I had finished my part and I was sitting behind the counter.
It was eyeballs. It's okay,
Eyeballs,
John.
yeah,
John.
eyeballs and
John's.
I was sitting behind the counter where the cash register was, and Howie was in the other part of the building.
No, but this is the original eyeballs, not the new eyeballs.
A smaller store.
Yeah.
And we were talking, kind of joking around and stuff. And I started to look up, and I see it's dark, and there's a big store window, so you could see the outline of Howie. And I saw his, his bald head and his, ears, and he he's like, the table, and then walks away. And I'm like, and John Wells, the owner, who was with me at the time, he's like, "Oh shit, is he mad?" I'm like, "I don't know. We better shut up though. Better be quiet." So we start whispering and stuff, and he ends his investigation. And I'm like, "Look, I'm sorry if we're making too much noise, man. I didn't think we were being that loud." He's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "You came over and you slammed your hand on the table, scared the crap out of us." She's like, "No, I was in the other room the whole time."
It's me and Britt.
Yeah, John saw it too, and he was like, "No, I wasn't in there."
Yep.
So, and I know it was him, and he actually made contact with the counter.
It made an actual sound.
Yeah. So I don't know if an EMF would
I
cause
don't
that
know.
to happen.
These are things I'm throwing around because that was the second time. The first time we were at our home location, and myself and one of our investigators, Danielle, we all were coming in on a 5-minute break between our shifts, coming into the dining room. Ryan wasn't in there just yet, but she was at one end and I was at the other end, and we saw Ryan walk through the kitchen from outside, head past us. Now there was a dining room, there's a wall, door, dining kitchen with a walkway. She was here, I was here. We see him walk in, and he has this blank stare looking right at us. I mean, it looked like dead cold. And I was like, the hell's the matter with him? Right? Just as that happened, Ryan walks in a completely different door. I look at her, she looks at me, and we bolt. She goes one way, I go around another. We almost walked right smack into each other, trying to find Ryan, but Ryan was already in the dining room. These are just,
Not cold dead eyes.
Yeah, cold dead eyes.
There are all kinds of different entities that can mimic voices, appearance. I'm sure EMF can aid in that by giving that entity more energy.
Yeah.
We can also make what's called a tulpa. It is kind of a nasty little version of you created from unhealed traumas when you go through another trauma.
Yeah.
How do I know? I made one when the house fire hit. It was me, every aspect, my intelligence, what I knew about the paranormal, everything. Just kind of the old me versus the new me. And I had to talk to Steve about how to take it out. And
Right.
he's like, man, you got to figure it out your own way. You have to do it. But everybody kept telling me, you got to do it right now, right now. No, not yet. So I chained it to the pipe sticking out of the wall in the basement down here. And when I was ready, I was sitting over at the rental one morning, drinking coffee, put my cigarette out. It's time. But they can be nasty little critters. They can be downright dangerous.
How did you know that you had one? Did you see it or what?
It was talking to me all the time.
Mhm.
Just like that thing that used to be in me. It was always in my ear. Always. I got sick of it and I chained it down over here so it couldn't follow me back over there.
Right.
That took a bit. You got to be on your toes. You got to know yourself. What's your best weakness? Use that against it.
You know, I'm going to bring one more thing up because it just struck my mind curiosity before we go into the next segment. Is I saw a segment this morning after Love Shack where they were talking about duplication and self projection. There's just one lady who came up with this very long name for the word. And I'm just going, what are you talking about? She could have just simplified it by saying residual, but she's an author, no name mentioned. But I'm going, why did you bring this whole big long word up for the everything that most paranormal researchers know is residual? Okay, residual haunting. It is an imprinted on items, a location. You know, these are natural things that happen. So, can we project our energy? Sure. I mean, trauma, positive, and not everything's negative, you guys. We've talked about this before on this show.
Mhm.
Not every entity, spirit, or event is negative. Sometimes it happens with a positive. It's more positive than people assume. You
And I'm
know?
going to guess what she said to you was stone tape theory. Do you know how often I get that? Stone tape theory.
Why don't you just say
All the
residual
time.
energy?
It's an echo.
Say stone tape theory.
Yes, indeed.
The stone tape theory.
Stone tape theory.
We call them echoes now.
Well, you know what? This is a perfect opportunity for us to move into our next segment, and I'll see what these guys say. But this is where really Michelle and Renee really will thrive with Keith, and we're going to talk about home protection now because it's something you guys need to know about, especially if you feel like you have bad energy. How can you get rid of bad energy? It helps with relationships. It helps with family, with children, and your own personal being. So let's jump into that.
Here we go.
Keith's getting ready. Go, boy!
He jumped in.
I mean, I think the thing that Keith and I and even Renee have always agreed upon is, you know, when it comes to homeowners or people who rent, whatever, unless you're well versed in what their belief is, whether it's religion, whether it's, you know, whatever their flavor of the divine is, unless they know it to be true, you can't go in and push all of your stuff on them and expect it to help them. You have to flow with their thought process, where they're comfortable and where they're thinking, and then implement from that point.
Yes, because what we say is a wraith in their religion belief system might be this. So
Right.
you have to know about that in order to relay that information. Okay, this is what this is. This is how we take care of it.
Right.
This is how we're going to help you. But you cannot. You can't take their beliefs and throw them out the window just because you believe them.
You can't.
Jonathan's with us. Welcome, Jonathan. I totally agree.
Or even for cleansing, like, you know, I cleanse my home differently. I'm Native American belief. So when I need something to happen, I usually call in, my tribe shaman. Then, then we go through all of that stuff versus, a priest or a pastor or whatever.
Mhm.
I mean, you have to know everybody's thought too, as far as that.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is with religions and theories too is, everybody uses, like y'all were talking, terminology can differ throughout periods of time, throughout different periods of religion. The word demon is thrown around a lot, but demons may have a different name and many different. I heard that.
Not wrong.
Shall I continue? Sorry, I'm getting a giggle right now. Just got a confirmation on that one. They could be completely different, and depending on the religion, it could be, a demon in one culture could be positive, where another culture, as Christianity, could be negative. And we don't know enough about the paranormal to use the word demon because we're taught. I don't want to go too much because this is Friday, but we're taught what a demon supposedly looks like. Who's to say it's not an alien soul? Again. And how do you deal with an alien?
I mean, it's a lot of stuff we don't know about stuff,
Well, as far as the alien, I'd invite it in for dinner. I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, like why is this still in my hand?
Yeah.
Oh, I know why that's in your hand.
You sexy beast, you.
Is it a sensor to see when it goes really fast?
No, that's the new world order there.
Yeah.
Checking what you
That's
check.
for another conversation.
Right. Okay, well, what's y'all's guys' opinions on saging a home? Renee, what do you say about the saging of a home?
I sage my home the first of every month because that's what my grandmother told me, along with other things I do. I do the lemon on the door. I blow it through the door. I put broken eggshells at the base of underneath my mat. To do, which was, I got really lax on this, and Graham came and said, kind of like kicked me in the head and said, you're supposed to do 30 days and you're not doing it, and you need to tell people about it tonight because it actually, somebody out there needs to hear it. So
yeah,
Grandma came from Puerto Rico. She believed in voodoo and Christianity. So we always had, she had St. John, she had a chicken bone, and she had red twine wrapped around that chicken bone. It was for just catching things, protecting the family. That was that. That recently went back up because I actually took that from her home when she passed.
There you go.
The thing is it's really, really, really simple. Just take anything. It could be a canning jar. It could be a glass. Could be it has to be a glass container. And I actually have this stuff here. So this is blue dye, because blue dye catches what? Evil eye. Evil. Some camphor and a crystal, clear quartz crystal. Hot water. Put it in. First course, cleanse your whatever you're going to use, as long as it's a glass container. Hot water. Mix it all together really, really good. It smells wonderful because camphor is what? It's in what? Vicks Vapor Rub.
Yeah.
This will, you put it you can put it at your front of your door, you can put it at a windowsill, you can put it at an exit point of a house, your back door. You can put more than one in the house. When this stuff starts to turn, you will know it and you will smell it because you won't smell that nice clear scent. When it starts smelling funky, dump it. Cleanse your crystal and redo it. but for 30 days. You should do this 30 days. Something as simple as that. And this blue dye, you can get it on Amazon. You can get a pack of 12 of them for like $1.55. You can go to your local metaphysical shop. And if they're a really good one, not these fly-by-nights, they will have this stuff for you.
Woo! Nice.
They will have this stuff for you. If you ask, I need something for home protection. I heard about this concoction of water and blue dye and camphor and a crystal, this, quartz. What is this? Help me understand this. Another one that she did was cut a lemon in 4, put some salt in it, leave it in your room. It turns black, get rid of it, but get rid of it off your property. Don't keep it on your property. Get rid of it off your property. I mean, it's little things like that.
I've heard people cutting onions in half. Is that a thing too?
Yep, that's a thing too. And actually, onions for that's even better. Flu season's coming. Other things are coming around. That alone, that will draw whatever bacteria that is in your home. It's a good thing for health. My grandfather, who was a Mainer, back in the woods Mainer, we used to do that all the time. Just put it on your door, put it on, your dresser, put it in a room. Like even when you're sick and you're not feeling good, put it in there. You'll be amazed what that onion will do for you.
Absolutely. Sage is antibacterial as well, just common sage.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to ask. Another question of you guys is, what are the different types of sages to use, and what does each sage stand for?
You got white sage, prairie sage, blue sage, purple sage, black sage, red sage, claret sage. And at one time I had them all memorized, but I don't anymore. Blue sage helps to get rid of any unwanted attachments. White sage, prairie sage, it helps with they'll help with negative energies, but they do all have a specific property with each one of them. I've got quite a few of them. I'm growing some of them, and as you see me lighting my leaves here, my little leaves, this is some red sage, helping the energy of the show. I sage my home every full moon, every new moon, and whenever it needs it. But the strongest sage that I've come across is this.
He's gonna go get his boomstick.
Mm-hmm.
My boomstick. This is Nebraska prairie sage. It is charged by every full moon and every new moon, every waxing moon, every waning moon, every moon there is, all summer long. It is also protected by the natives out there, and you need to give an offering and ask if you can harvest this. And this is some very powerful stuff. This will take out about anything, and if you use this and it just pisses the entity off, get out.
Run.
Run.
For those who don't know, what is the point of the charging a sage? What does it do? What does the moon do to the sage to make it powerful?
Well, the moon can affect the ocean. It can move the ocean. That is how strong the moon is, the gravitational pull. The moon is light. It reflects the sun back onto the earth at night. During supermoons, I mean, you can see fine. So you're getting light. You're getting sunlight at night during the full moon. During the new moon, you're getting pretty much darkness. You need to have balance. So here's balance. You got your light, you got your dark, your yin, your yang. It can help with the light. It can take care of the dark.
Well, and I've always kind of thought, in reference to the moon, I was headed there too. But along with that, you know, we're however many percent water. Then you have the living water that just comes from the earth, completely untainted when it falls in a waters that sage. So it's already charged with all of its natural elements.
Yes.
The moon just helps persuade that. And so when you use it at particular times, which I use mine at particular times, and when I do that, it's because my body is in tune with the moon and the water and the things that were grown and harvested by it. Um, an odd reference. I always love a full moon because, like a lot of words are derived from that. So the word lunatic, Luna is the moon.
Right.
So people go crazy on a full moon.
Yeah.
They're just out of sync with their own body's biorhythm.
Right.
Does the sun do anything?
Hi, baby.
And like sunlight, does that do anything? Charge it up at
Sure.
all?
Yeah, the sun's a supercharger. I mean,
Yeah.
I recommend possibly watching or keeping an eye on solar flares and solar storms because
Huge.
that affects it.
Oh man, you can go on two different spectrums on a solar storm. You can be charged by it in a positive manner and just go gung ho and get stuff done. You're fine. You're great. You're in a good mood. Let's do this.
Right.
Some people it affects opposite. They're done. They got no energy. Everything's wrong. 5-finger death punch song. I'm a little bit off. That type of energy.
Right.
So, and it's not always the same. It depends on what else the planets are doing up there as to how that solar flare is going to affect that individual person.
Exactly. I'm going to talk a little bit just on the health benefits of both of what you're discussing. Good questions. Great points of view. There's a medical aspect of sage. All sages, they all affect us differently. But on a medical scientific aspect of sage, it is good for us to breathe in sage once in a while. Why? Because it actually controls a particular fungus that's in our lungs. So as we take it in, it actually helps shrink, pull, and kill that fungus and helps us breathe better. This is science. This is truth. The sun, why is the sun so good for humans? Because it carries vitamin D. It's another point of what humans actually need. So the sun is another scientifically proven health benefit. That's why they say get in the sun as much as you can because it carries natural D.
If you go, like say, okay, at my job, with daylight saving time coming up here pretty soon, I will go to work in the dark. We have no windows. I will come home in the dark.
Yeah.
So I will only get sunshine on the weekends. That affects the human psyche. That affects the human mood. We need the sunlight in order to function properly.
Right.
Our rhythm, what is it, Akkadian rhythm, our sleep pattern, internal clock, it affects that.
Yep.
There's something wrong with the lighting. It's for light bulbs are sucking the life out of me.
Well, I was watching an episode of WF. Okay. Great guy. I love his work. And they were talking about flight attendants on airplanes and paranormal experiences on planes. And these are the reasons why a lot of these flight crews have paranormal experiences because their rhythm's off.
Yeah.
Their sleep, their daylight to nighttime to light affects their thought process. I found that interesting. I mean, that could happen at your home.
I wonder if they ever go outside of their controlled atmosphere or their controlled sphere. They're in from the airport to the airplane, from the airplane to the airport. And some airports have hotels attached to them, so they go directly to a hotel and then go back through the airport and go straight to the plane. Do they ever see actual daylight? And
that's freaking scary that you just brought that.
That's what
they don't ground.
I can't say names.
He's not wrong.
They don't ground.
Wow, that's a good point, dude. I mean, that's another thought. I mean, a lot of pilots get to take a break. I'm sure the staff does.
But flight crews, not like stewardess and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point. Hi, my club.
Sorry. My dad's going full Christmas light in here.
Hey, Rob.
Somebody had to make an appearance.
Hi, baby girl.
You can say hi. You can say hi.
Coming at the end of spirits like, y'all are done.
Oh, she wants to say hi.
Oh, hey, girly girl.
I will say one thing, and I'm surprised from this because I hate everything pumpkin spice because I hate pumpkin spice season.
I'm not into pumpkin.
I'm with you.
But here's the thing, and I found this in Grandma's book.
Listen.
Okay, so what's made of pumpkin spice?
Pumpkin.
No, pumpkin spice, zero pumpkin.
Clove.
Cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, allspice, and clove.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cinnamon draws in high vibration. It's not all about abundance with that, people, because everybody thinks about that. So it amplifies it. It also amplifies your intention. Ginger, right?
Yeah.
Figure, prosperity, yes, but it's also stimulates. Okay. Nutmeg is for meditation, for protection, right? And it also is Jupiter's charm, and that will also attract money. But we're talking about all other things. Allspice is about feeling good, having good feeling, bringing good feeling, uplifting in your attentions into your home. And clove relaxes your body and it supports your self-confidence. So when you're drinking your pumpkin spice, you're actually helping yourself. And
Amen, I am.
you're keeping people away that shouldn't be in your bubble. If you want
It's
to
time to get some pumpkin spice.
Hey,
It's Halloween.
I had one
perfect season.
earlier.
Let's do
I
it.
mean, as much as that, I mean, I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, pumpkin spice," but this is the reason. This is a pumpkin spice for those people that hate that. Oh, pumpkin. You know what? Now
When is pumpkin spice season? Around what holiday?
That's right.
Samhain.
That's right.
Halloween.
It's that
When
time.
what
You know
gets
what?
in the veil.
This is a perfect time. I'm glad we ended the show with this because this was absolutely perfect. I agree.
This is the end of the show.
It's the end of the show, man. We're out there.
Already?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're already at that time. Wow. I love
Yeah.
it. Awesome. So thank you, Renee. Thank you so much for that.
You're
That
welcome.
was perfecto, if you will. And of course, the Renegade and the Cowboys in the house. We are missing the Hangman, but he is in Savannah, Georgia right now. So, hopefully he has a wonderful vacation.
Yes.
Bruce. Rob, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Ryan, thank you, brother, again
No
for
problem.
coming
Thank you
out.
both.
Check out the Vibe Network and freaking awesome show, you freaks. Like that.
I do like
Good,
that.
that's good.
Yeah, that's good. Appreciate that.
Keith, Renee, Michelle, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thanks for having
Absolutely.
us.
Thank you for having us.
Yes,
I
thank you.
always have a good time on the show.
It's always a wonderful when you're with family and friends. So until next month, we thank you for being here with us. We thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you've learned a little bit of something and share your opinions and thoughts. If you check this after, leave your thoughts. We want to hear from you, just like we always do. If you have an idea for next month's show, drop us a line at the RNN Rift Nation Network. I'll get together with the crew and we'll see what we can do.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So until next month, happy Halloween, All Hallows Eve. Gentlemen, shall we ride the fire?
Let's go.
Let's roll.
Da-da-da. We will see you guys next time, right here on Paranormal Outlaws.
Adios, amigo.